The ocean, a world of profound mystery. A realm where ancient rhythms guide colossal lives. For millennia, these leviathans have navigated its depths, largely untouched by the surface world. But sometimes, a whisper from below rises, a subtle disruption in the vast, blue silence. A hint of something amiss. Something unexpected. What could disturb the serene passage of these giants? What could bring a moment of profound struggle to a creature built for endless journeys? Our story begins not with a roar, but with a faint sign. A solitary buoys, drifting far off its charted course, caught the eye of a lone fishing vessel. Not unusual, perhaps. But beneath it, an unnatural tension. A weight. A resistance that spoke not of currents or debris, but of something far more substantial. Something alive. What secrets did this simple marker hold, anchored to an unseen burden below the waves? A puzzle was forming, one piece at a time. What followed was a chilling realization. The weight was not a snagged anchor, nor a sunken log. It was something far more insidious. A silent predator, made by human hands, lay in wait. Ghost gear. Lost fishing nets, lines, and traps that continue to fish indiscriminately, years after being abandoned. These invisible assassins patrol the ocean floor, and sometimes, they rise. Sometimes, they ensnare. What silent victims had this particular entanglement claimed before its presence was finally acknowledged? The fishing crew, seasoned veterans of the sea, knew instantly this was no ordinary catch. Carefully, cautiously, they began to investigate the resistance. The line, taut, vibrated with a living pulse. A pulse too strong for any fish. Then, a dark shape. A flicker of immense power, constrained. It was a whale. A young humpback, tangled in a maze of polypropylene rope and net. Its struggle, silent and desperate, had reached its limit. The enormity of the discovery was immediate. What hope remained for this magnificent creature? They called him Timmy. A name, simple and human, bestowed upon a wild, struggling spirit. He was young, but already immense. His skin, scarred from the constant chafing of the lines. His breathing, labored. Days, perhaps even weeks, had passed since he first became trapped. The severity of his entanglement was clear, ropes dug deep into his flesh, around his pectoral fins, across his powerful tail. Each movement, an agony. Each breath, a battle. His fate now rested in uncertain hands. Who would dare confront this immense, dangerous challenge? News of Timmy spread quickly through the tight-knit marine community. The local authorities, environmental agencies, and experienced whale rescue teams were mobilized. This wasn't a simple task, it required specialized equipment, deep knowledge of whale behavior, and immense bravery. The ocean, despite its beauty, is an unforgiving environment. What seemingly insurmountable obstacles lay ahead for those who answered the call? The clock was ticking, and Timmy's strength was fading with every passing hour. A full-grown humpback whale can weigh upwards of 30 tons. A single slap of its tail, even from an exhausted animal, could shatter a boat, or worse, take a life. The first priority for the rescue team was assessment. How deeply was Timmy entangled? What type of gear? Where were the pressure points? Each question carried immense risk. Approaching such a massive, distressed creature in its own element requires extreme caution. What hidden dangers lurked beneath the surface, beyond the visible ropes? The initial strategy was simple in theory, complex in execution: use a specialized grapple hook to cut the most restrictive lines. The rescue boat approached slowly, engines muffled. A tense silence fell over the crew. The water, deceptively calm, held untold power. The first cut. It was partial, but enough to offer a glimmer of hope. Yet, Timmy reacted with a surge of terror, pulling away, dragging the cut line further into his agony. What new challenges had this attempt inadvertently created? Over the next few hours, several attempts were made. Each time, small victories were met with frustrating setbacks. The sheer strength of Timmy, even weakened, was a formidable adversary. The ropes, woven with incredible resilience, resisted the cutting tools. The ocean itself, unpredictable, added another layer of difficulty with shifting currents and swells. Doubt began to creep in. Was this mission too dangerous? Was Timmy too far gone? A heavy question hung in the air: how much more could he endure? As daylight faded, the decision was made to regroup. Continuing in darkness would be reckless, a risk to both the whale and the rescue team. Timmy was marked with a tracking buoy, his exact location now known. But the wait was agonizing. Each minute that passed meant more exhaustion for Timmy, more pressure on his injuries, more time for the ropes to deepen their cut. The silent vigil stretched through the night, a collective hope for dawn. What horrors did the darkness hold for the young whale? With the first light of dawn came a renewed sense of purpose. New plans were drawn, leveraging the experience of the previous day's challenges. The team knew Timmy's behavior patterns now, his reactions to the boat, his moments of calm. This knowledge was crucial. The goal, not just to cut, but to strategically loosen, to untangle, allowing the whale to help himself. What new tactics would they employ to overcome the ocean's resistance and Timmy's fear? This time, a diver would enter the water. A perilous endeavor, but necessary for the intricate work required. Clad in thick wetsuits, armed with specialized knives, the diver descended. The immense scale of Timmy up close was breathtaking, terrifying. The ropes, a complex web, had constricted flesh, cutting off circulation. Every movement by the diver had to be precise, controlled. One wrong cut, one sudden movement from Timmy, and disaster. What unimaginable courage fuels such an act? Slowly, meticulously, the diver began the painstaking work. Strand by strand, the ropes were severed. The most deeply embedded sections first. Timmy remained surprisingly calm, almost as if sensing the intent. His massive eye, cloudy with exhaustion, watched the diver with an ancient wisdom. A sense of shared vulnerability hung in the water. One pectoral fin, then another, found partial freedom. The tension in the air, palpable. Could this truly be the turning point? Hours passed beneath the waves. The diver resurfaced for air, for new tools, but always returned. The most challenging section remained, the ropes around Timmy's tail, deeply embedded and dangerous due to the whale's powerful movements. It required an extraordinary feat of teamwork, with the boat positioning to help stabilize the whale. Then, with a series of powerful, decisive cuts, the final bonds were severed. A moment of silence. An intake of breath from the surface crew. What would happen next? For a moment, Timmy remained still, perhaps bewildered. The weight, the constant resistance, was gone. Then, slowly, tentatively, he began to move. A deep, powerful breath. A gentle swish of his now free tail. He swam a small circle around the rescue boat, as if acknowledging his saviors. Then, with a surge of renewed strength, he descended, disappearing into the azure depths. A ghost of a shadow. A symbol of hope. Had he truly been freed? Days later, Timmy was sighted again, miles from the rescue site. His wounds, though still visible, were healing. He was feeding, breaching, swimming with the effortless grace of a truly free whale. His ordeal had left scars, but also a profound testament to resilience. And to the tireless efforts of those who refused to let a single life be lost to the silent threats of the deep. What does Timmy's story tell us about our role in protecting these magnificent creatures? Timmy's rescue is more than just a single success story. It's a powerful reminder of the hidden impacts of human activity on marine life. Ghost gear, ocean pollution, and habitat disruption continue to threaten countless species. But it's also a testament to the immense capacity for compassion and collective action. Every rescue, every choice we make, sends ripples through the vast ocean. What future will we write for the leviathans of the deep? The choice, as always, is ours. May Timmy's journey inspire us all.